My journey started on a surgical table in 1996 at 3:34 in the afternoon. This body principle, known as William Linville, the dear brother that had it before I did, stepped off the planet during gastric bypass surgery. The body principle weighed over 425 pounds plus. He stepped off the table during a surgical procedure, being that of the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass surgery. And he knew he was leaving the planet before he ever went to the surgical room. And I guess you'll call it an agreement. He knew that 6 months prior. But he'd been wanting to leave the planet, and so he made a full transition, and I got to assist him to make a full transition as he exited the body during surgery, and I began to integrate and marry with it during the surgery. And as he entered the surgical room, he knew that it was going to be the last time he saw his family monad, the little ones that was around him, and he had already been somewhat at peace with it. And when I picked up the physical after the surgical procedure, I began my journey, waking up inside the recovery room and all the way into his hospital room. I was able to move into the body principle entirely. After the extreme pain, the blindness, the wheelchairs, and so forth, I began to move in completely and began to regenerate and rebuild the body. And here I am now, and being able to assist with facilitating optimal health and well-being, rebuilding organs that are, quote, i.e. impossible, due to how what's taught medically, what's taught even alternatively, what's taught from, you'll call it soul levels of consciousness and so forth. I'm here to assist, facilitate, and also here to assist with the marriage of the higher and the lower, but also playing with your creator levels, your higher levels, your manifest levels, and really beyond just an organ. It's a very small facet of you. I'm here to play with your universality states and rebuilding of your whole world. Let your whole world begin to open for you, even your universality states of consciousness, your natural birthrights, and letting you begin to marry with you for the first time, rather than all of the I think I should, I ought, I must, everything you've ever experienced, ever been through, and ever made, even as an identificational realm about oneself from first separation to now, including dissolving the karmic lattice work, vows, contracts, and agreements, and so forth that you've taken on for your own self, and assisting you to fully marry with you now, beyond even the Akashic record realms that have been running your life stream, from magnetic states, from universalis magnetics, to step into your own divinity.
Wow!
That's just the beginning.
That's just the start.
That's during the first 101.
So my experience of you is interesting, because it feels like it's like you're a permanent channel.
Well,
is that the idea, or what is it that? Because your speech and your it's a little bit different than the rest of us humans.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And so, what's going on there?
Well, see, that's the part that becomes colorful, because I'm a matrix. I'm not a channel. So I don't let any other dear brother within my physical. I didn't step into this body to share it with another.
Okay.
I stepped into this body to enjoy my physicality and all the different apparatuses within it and a part of it. So I'm a constant stream of consciousness, but so are you. See, that's the beauty here. You are too.
Everyone who's listening is a constant stream of consciousness.
And you are that you've always been, but now you're letting yourself come forth without filters.
I just kind of wanted to let that sit for a minute.
And please do, because it's you without the personality, the identity, the conflictedness, the filtration.
The filtration. That's our filtration system, is the things that happen to us, the events that occur to us, the life moments that created filters now of belief.
Beliefs that translate into judgment. It could be a positive judgment or it could be a negative judgment.
Right. It's a judgment nonetheless.
And it's throwing a tiny pebble in a constant stream until the stream is like that.
Right. Blocked.
It's nowhere different than throwing a constant pebble in an artery until the artery's blocked. We can call it positive, it feels better. We can call it negative, it feels denser. So we have positive, we have negative. We still have polarization. But you're here, but we still have polarization.
So you is still part of it, but we've got now this polarization that it kind of warps it, filters it.
And it takes you out of the
It takes you out of it.
And it's still one or the other. Now, let me be clear here. Positive is a lot more fun than negative. It's a beginning of a wake-up.
Okay.
It's important for many to even start to even realize that they're not a thought. To even start to come to terms that, I even have a say-so about my own life stream. I actually even have a life stream. I'm not my life stream. I'm not a thought. I'm not an identificational realm. I'm not a density. I'm not a mind. I have one, but I'm not one.
I have one, but I'm not one. Is it the same with the body? I have one, but I'm not one?
You have a physical deity. You have a physical facet, but it's not you. Now let's forget about faith and trust and all these colorful words, because they're all beautiful words, but it only creates one thing, which is a whole lot of doubt. Because I can jump off a cliff and trust that I'm going to get caught. Now, I would hope that I would, but the chances are my body's going to get a lot of flesh wounds. Now, we can hope all we want to hope, but if we play with common logic, the body principles have weight. I can put rocks in my pocket just to let it fall about 3.8 miles per hour faster into the water. Or I can hope that I'll get caught, and I will get caught by the water, I promise you. Now, regardless, I'm not going to test it, I'm not going to push it, but I'm going to let it go where it goes. And I promise you, once I hit the water, I'm not going to be affected, even physically speaking.
Right.
Because I'm not involved.
Okay, so I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that that there's a protection here in it. It's
That's the part that I'm watching the most.
Okay, so there's protection.
It's called carnality.
Okay.
The primal fear level
Yes.
of what if.
Right. Oh, the primal fear level of what if, which is a lot of what my audience is facing right now in their daily lives.
Called survival.
Survival.
Survival of what? The only thing you could ever lose is you, and that's impossible. If you lose your physical, what's going to happen? If you lose all of your toys, your belongings, what's going to happen? If you lose the ones around you, what's going to happen? If you lose the egoic structure, what's going to happen? If you lose control, you're free. And you lose nothing.
If you lose control, you're free.
And you have everything. Because what are you really controlling anyways?
An illusion.
That's like this. I want a new car, I want a new car, let it present, I want a new car. Where's my beloved of my heart? Where's my marriage of the heart? I want my marriage of the heart, I want my beloved of the heart.
It's funny, I've been having this conversation about beyond the dream.
Exactly.
Beyond the dream. And really just playing with what is. Just playing with what is.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a sense of knowing that it feels like a lot of people are coming with. And, some of these words just aren't, they don't do it justice.
And that's because it's not the words or the tones. It's what's behind the tones. They're in coordinates of consciousness.
Yes.
What's behind the tones is the divinity, the vibrancy, the brilliance of activations.
Right.
Words for the word's sake of words are just words.
Right.
What's behind them is a whole other journey in themselves.
How do we get behind the words? How do we get into that activation energy and move past hope?
Well, let's play with it for a
Okay.
minute. Let's take hope.
Okay.
Let's look at the whole hope entirely. I hope that everyone on this planet wakes up brilliantly. Okay? Let's take that whole hope right here.
Okay.
Let's turn it around. Let's look right behind it.
Look behind it, okay.
Let's look at it for what it is. And what do you see behind it?
Light.
So what does that tell you?
That there is no hope.
Yes.
I mean, not that there is no hope. There's no hope, but there's no such thing as hope.
And it's not my business.
Ooh. Right, and now I'm feeling the attachment. My attachment, the attachment of the audience, there's an attachment to that.
And now we have a battle.
Yes!
And upright and justified for the
Yes.
whole back door of the egoic structure when all these dear brothers are broken, which is a whole other back door to judgment within itself.
I didn't quite understand what you said there.
It's a whole other back door of judgment.
Yes.
To be upright and justified, says the egoic structure, that everyone else is broken and I've got to save them.
Okay.
We might as well start another religion called enlightenment.
Yeah.
And metaphysics. Because it's not about the words. How best can I assist? Not because you're broken, but because I love and honor you. How best can we walk side by side? How best can we play with your organs? How best can we play with your whole life stream? How best can we bring you forth, sing and dance together, complement together, flourish together? Let your whole life stream and your natural birthright present that much faster for you together. As a camaraderie. Not because you're lacking, not because you're broken, but because you're you, creator incarnate. And because you're presenting all around as creator incarnate, looking for the most brilliant, priceless gift there is, which is yourself.